Hi everybody, it's Kelly from Loch BRIAR Knits, and this is episode 70. Is it 75? Was it 70? Okay, every episode we do this. I do this. I think it's episode 75, but it could be 77. I don't even remember. Anyway, 70 something. So it is, I need a footstool. Oh, sorry. So we are out at the summer house today. We come out once every couple of weeks to check on the place. Especially we had a bit of a windstorm and the internet got knocked out and stuff like that. So we just had to come out, make sure everything's still standing. I'm drinking coffee because it's 8:30 in the morning. We get up really early this morning. So we came out after work last night. We'll just stay here until Sunday. It's only a half hour from like our house. So we just stock up all of our food and that we'll need for the weekend and drive out here. And then we're just kind of secluded here for the weekend. We don't actually have any interaction with the community around here. I mean, we do normally, but not now. So just to be safe, because you don't want to be coming from one community into another and then, you know, like we don't go to the grocery store here. We get all of our food at a regular grocery store, or in this case, we just grabbed whatever we had in the house. We have to do a grocery pickup on Sunday evening. So we order it online and then you go, but you have to do your order. Like I think we picked our pickup date a week ago from the time we're actually picking it up. And that was the closest because a lot of people are doing the pickup now, which is great. The only problem is that you can put something on your list, but if they don't have it in stock. So I think there was like 10 items that were on our list. Some of them were kind of staples from last week that we didn't get. So I'm hoping things have been restocked. So I just put them on our list again this week. So we'll see. They did have bread yeast. So I put that on because I'm trying to get dry active yeast so that I can make some bread at home. And I can't find it anywhere. So we ended up, like I got some flour because there was some flour down here. So I grabbed that and took it back with us. So we have 2 like kind of small bags of flour. And then, yeah, so there's some staples that we haven't really been able to get that would make things a little easier as far as kind of making our own staples like bread and things like that. But do what you can. We're not starving, so, you know. Anyways, this is a knitting podcast. We've picked up a lot of new viewers. So, hello to all the new viewers and thank you for checking us out. I hope you keep coming back, and to all the returning viewers, thank you so much for showing up each episode. You guys are awesome. And I've been doing kind of semi-weekly, is that the right term? A couple times a week, posting little weekly vlogs. This week, I think I only got one up because Thursday, I filmed nothing. Like Thursday was one of those days where I just kind of hit the ground running for work. And by the end of the day, I was so knackered. There was really nothing to show you. And then, no, sorry, that was Wednesday, I think. And then Thursday, I did a little clip from work, which was basically nothing. And then yesterday I was at work. I was at the office all day again. So I got nothing. So I was like, yeah, there's not really anything to put up, but then I figured I was doing the episode today, so we'll start fresh again next week. Hopefully have some interesting or something to show for the week. So, where are we going to start today? Let me start with, put my coffee there, what I've been spending a lot of time on. This week seems to have been dedicated to my Habitation throw. So I'm not following the pattern religiously. I'm actually going to make this to be more of a kind of like a lap blanket. So this is my version of the scrappy blanket. Is this the front? Yeah. Well, actually it doesn't really matter because it looks the same. So let's see if I can get this up. This is what I've got done so far. The bottom's kind of curling up a bit, but so if you've watched past episodes, what I'm kind of doing is like a light speckled yarn, then a darker yarn, and then a jewel-toed yarn, as much as I can anyway. So then this one, I think this was the one I was on. No, this was the one I was on last episode, I think. And then I was kind of doing three repeat sections for each color, but this one, clearly I ran out. And the sunlight's coming in, so we may have some lighting issues, but hopefully there, if I sit back like this, I'm not right in it. So this was the dark color. This one was the jewel toned. And then this one is going to be, the next section is speckled. And this one, if I can, see if I can block the light a little. You can kind of see, I think. It's got like neon pops of green. I had made a pair of socks out of this last year. And I think this one was Log House Cottage Yarns as well. And this was Log House Cottage Yarns. And I'm pretty sure this one was Evie Knits. And then this one, I think this was a homespun house in one of her Christmas colorways. This was Handmade Yarns. This was Log House Cottage Yarns. And this was, I cannot remember, but I believe it was a German hand dyer. I can't remember, but I'm 98% sure that this was the one that I used in my Tammy Gore shawl. Hint of Autumn. I'm pretty sure this is the one I used in that. So this is a very, make sure I'm not knocking my stitches off or getting tangled. So this has been a really nice, simple knit. Shrink it up here. So it's been a really great one just to kind of grab while I'm watching podcasts or what's this? I'm gonna call this my my isolation hair. I was looking at my hair from, I think it was maybe like 4 episodes ago, and it was kind of, I think, up to here. So we'll see how long it gets before I can get it cut again. But yeah, this has been really great. And this was the Habitation throw by Helen Stewart. And I think this was part of her Knit Vent 2020. And then when everybody kind of went in lockdown, I think she had it on free for a little while. I don't know if she still does or not. But I usually get her Knit Vent every year, and so I had it from that. But it is a really, really nice, easy, scrap-friendly knit. So I'm really enjoying that. And I brought, so this is the yarn, yeah. Right, sunshine, no sunshine. This is the yarn that I'm using right now. And then next up, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use maybe this one next. No, maybe I'll use this one next. And then, no. So good at making decisions. Or, now you know what? I think I'll do it maybe this way. And then I can go into, no, that's gonna be too, maybe I'll do, then maybe like this. And then maybe like this. I don't even know, my hands are, let's see, maybe like that. Oh. Get it in frame. There. So speckled, dark, and jewel, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the way to go for the next two. And then I'll save this one to start with the purples. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's put this down in there. Okay, so that's in one of my bags that I got from the Homespun House, the ones that she gets from Ghana. And let's see, what else have we? I did finally block my, and I keep forgetting the name of it, but it was the one Fiber Tales did the little, did her tutorial on. So I finally got this blocked and it wears much better. It's really great. What have I got? Look at this. This is my problem when I make sleeves. Oh yeah, what am I wearing? I'm wearing my Rachel sweater. Let's see if I can back up a little. I don't have a lot of room here. This is my Rachel sweater from UNI Knits, which is Jose Paquin. She's a Canadian designer. I love her designs. So this was from Fiber Tales. She did a little tutorial. Ignore the little holy bits in my... I wonder, I think I still... I'm not undressing. Yeah, it's just like a little, when I pick up the stitches around the sleeve, I always kind of, I don't know, my sleeve stitch picking up is probably my worst skill. So anyway, back to the shawl. So this one is, I think, oops. So this is kind of a good, like, one skein project. Just tie it here. So if you didn't want like a super bulky scarf and you just wanted something light to put under a jacket or just to kind of wear over a sweater if it wasn't super chilly out and just wanted that extra layer of warmth, this is a really good pattern. Plus, if you're looking for like a quick one skein pattern, this was so simple. I did manage, I say that, and I did manage to goof it up. I dropped a stitch and then I kind of tried to fix it and it didn't go very well. But anyways, after I blocked this, the drape is much nicer. So that got done. So that was one more thing off my list. Let's see, what else? Coffee. We woke up like at 5:30 this morning. like, which is unusual for my husband because he's the later sleeper. But what else have we got? All right, I think this is my childhood sweater. Yes. I'm trying to remember what's in what bag. So I did last week. I got a fair bit done on the body. So I have to go 9, well, I say fair bit, but oops. I have to do 9.5 inches from the, oops, like edge of the armhole down. So I got the back finished and then I joined. I can't remember where I was last episode. So I've got, I'm balancing precariously. Drop that down there for a second. So I got this much. This is hard to show because I don't have a lot of room here. All right, let's try this. And hopefully I can get back in the same spot. So, yeah, so I've got down to here right now. So yeah, I probably have about another 5 inches-ish to go before I start doing the ribbing. I'm trying to get back in. I think I'm back in place. So I think I might, and right now, this is just like, talk about easy knitting. This is just like straight up stocking stitch. You have a little detailing on the sides, which is just literally like a knit, purl, knit kind of thing. And they're marked, so it's not like I'm gonna miss it. I had to mark it because I would have missed it otherwise. So I'm really loving the color of this yarn. This is Lost Lake in the, oh my God, I'm just totally blanking today. Knit Picks Stroll Tweed, and it's Lost Lake Heather. And I think I'm only on my second ball of yarn. So I'm guessing I'm gonna have a ball or 2 left over. But I love how this looks. I can't wait for this to be off the needles. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, oops, I'm getting caught, wear it this season. Although they were saying we're supposed to get some rain and snow at some point today, although it's like beautiful, sunny, and I think way too warm for snow, so we'll see. But, and I'm not going to finish it today anyway, so. But, yeah, I really, really love it. Let's see if I can get it without the sun. I think that's about as close as I can get without the sun blowing it out. But it's like a very nice, soft, not olive green. It's kind of a nice soft, maybe forest green, maybe? I don't know what color you'd call this, but it's beautiful. And super soft. So I think that I'm going to give the blanket a break today and maybe do some work on this. And this is in my loop bag. Speaking of the loop, my local yarn store, which is like brick and mortar yarn store, she moved her shop online. So I'll put a little loop or a little link down below because she's shipping pretty much everywhere. So I think I saw on Facebook or Instagram, she had shipped some to a Callowit, and they were showing off their yarn. So you had this like beautiful, like mossy green yarn against kind of the snowy landscape. It was beautiful. But I've purchased, I think I showed the yarn that I purchased not last week, it would have been 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I really wanted to support their shop because I absolutely love it. It's like, you know, the mothership for me. So what I decided to do is I usually get a latte every morning, and lattes are like about, what, $6. So since I'm not getting my lattes in the morning, I'm taking all my latte money and I'm going to use it to support the loop. So this week's latte money went towards a sweaters quantity of Cascade 220 Heather, and it is in this beautiful shade called Japanese Maple, and it hasn't come in yet. It'll probably be in next week. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Like, beautiful. The shade was just like, took my breath away. And I think I'm going to make a sweater hug by Skandier Knits out of it. So yeah, and then she's also got, I don't have any of my sock sacks from her here, but this is kind of like the sweater sack, I call it. And I love it. It's got like the drawstring. This is the one with the Alice in Wonderland motif. See if you can see that. And then it's got this like pretty blue, I don't know what you call this. I'm not really big on my materials, but see if I can get it. Oops. To show this like really beautiful interior blue. And then it's got the drawstring and handles, and then kind of the canvasy bottom. I have, I think, 5 of these bags and counting. So that was a childhood sweater. The other sweater, and this is in my Needlecraft. That's her little Canadian maple leaf. And then you can kind of see the little, I think you can see it. Well, you could see it if the sunshine wasn't blowing it out. There we go. And this has got like London and Paris, and I always think of it as my travel yarn bag. So this is my ripped sweater, and that's by Jacqueline Cieslak. I think I'm saying that right. And Stacy over at Stress Knits is doing a knit along for this sweater, so I thought I would join in on that. And I finally finished, oops, the front and back ribbing, if I can untangle myself. So I haven't joined them yet. That's on this weekend's chore list. So this is the back, and then this is the front. They're a little different lengths, and I'm so tangled. Okay, anyway. There we go. So now I just have to kind of go this way, I guess, and join them. And that twisted rib was, it was a bit tedious, I'm not gonna lie. I love the look of it, and I don't know if you can tell, maybe you can. Oh, maybe the sun will work in my favor this time to show you the detail. I love the look of the twisted rib, but it was really tedious to like knit, you know, in the back loop, purl in the back loop over and over again. So I was glad to have this done. It felt like it took a long time. So, but I'm knitting that in. So that's in Elizabeth Davold Silky Wool. See if I can, hopefully that's showing. But yeah, I love the color. I love burgundy. It's one of my favorite colors to wear. And I can't wait to have that off the needles because I want to kind of wear it over sort of my loose dresses that I wear in the summer. You know what? I'm just going to wear them whether I get out of the house or not because they're so comfy. So that's up on the list. And then, what's this? What is this? Oh, right. So this is I haven't done anything on this yet. Now that I know what I did wrong. I got confused because I had this little doohickey here, if you can see it. This is the beginning of the row, or the round. And I was reading it as if this was the beginning of the round. And that's where my problem was. So what I actually am going to have to do is tink back to here and start the gusset section. And I think what was throwing me is that because when I do magic loop, I'm so used to having the front and the back all like separated. And in this case, that's not the case. So normally, this would be here, I guess. And it would be split evenly between the two needles, but it's not. And that's what was throwing me off. And it says that in the pattern, and my brain just skipped over it. And when I read it the first time, because I kind of read through the pattern at first, I was like, oh, okay. But then when I was actually doing the pattern, for some reason, my brain forgot that part, even though, I don't know, my brain just skipped right over it when I was actually doing the knitting. So I emailed Tracie because I was looking at it and my brain was just not grasping it. And she pointed it out and then like, oh yeah, right. Duh. So again, that's another thing that I want to kind of get on because I mean, if I can get all my things out of the way, like look at the pattern. That is beautiful. And this yarn, I'm using Quince & Co. I want to say Tern. I don't know if I have the, oh no, you know what? I have that in my other bag. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tern is the base, which is silk and wool, I think is the combination. And silk and wool, I think so. And it's beautiful. And the color is Back Bay. So again, that's another thing I'd like to kind of, I think what I might do is today is maybe work on joining the rift sweater in the round and then getting this set up so that I can just sort of pick up the pattern. And then once I get that done, I'll do a little work on the body of the childhood sweater. So get the hard stuff done first. And then the easy stuff will follow. And this bag is by Chestnut Fibres. This is this week's acquisition. Can we just, okay, let's see if we can do this, but oh my God, can we just look at the dragonflies? Can we just, so she had a shop update this week and I saw the dragonflies and I was just, click. So she actually is local to me. So I ordered this. I think I ordered it on Monday and it arrived on Wednesday, or I ordered it on Tuesday and it arrived on Thursday, something like really 2 days. Like it was fantastic. And then there's like, I love the little clover, 4-leaf clover. It's really heavy. It's like got a nice weight to it. And then She also had, she wrote on the outside of the envelope that she loved the podcast. So, hi, Christine. So that just made my day. And then there are little stitch markers. These are actually my favorite kind of stitch markers. I love them. Like these, I don't know, they're just simple, but they're pretty. They got the little colors on them. I don't know if that's showing very clear, but yeah, these are actually my favorite. So that's my acquisition of the week. That's my only acquisition of the week, except for the loop, the yarn from the loop, which is probably going to arrive next week. And I think, oops, that's everything. That is everything. So let's see what else is going on. Not much. The dog is in her holy terror stage. She's kind of always been in a bit of a holy terror stage, but she's in her teenage holy terror stage right now. So she's really stubborn on a good day, but now it's kind of amped up to like teenage stubbornness. So that's been loads of fun. She likes to gnaw on limbs. And she's half the time doing a gentle mouthing, which is fine, because she's a retriever, so they like to have things in their mouth. But they have to learn to hold them gentle. Same as if, like what they were bred for was to retrieve game, but they would have to pick it up and hold it gentle in their mouth and bring it to the guy that shot the poor bird out of the sky. So that's kind of like what they're bred for, and it's kind of natural for them, but you need to teach them to have a gentle mouth, and we're trying to teach that. And she'll start off that way, and then she just gets all amped up and she starts clamping down harder. And she's not intentionally trying to like hurt us, but it hurts because she's got the jaws of death. So we're trying to teach her not to do that, and she's being very stubborn about it because she wants to do that. She just wants to play and bite and gnaw. So yeah. It's basically like trying to reason with somebody who's completely insane. And then when she's calm, she's so sweet. She'll grow out of it. I know she'll grow out of it. Cedar had his own rangy little teenage years. It felt like it lasted years. It lasted about 3 or 4 months maybe. So, you know, growing pains. So I'm watching a flyby seagull. So what else is going on? I'm still reading. I started reading. I've actually got the tripod set up on it. It's the 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow, which is really good. And I heard about this book from Tommy at Squirrel Pie Productions on her podcast. She had mentioned it, and that was right before we had left for Dublin back in the good old days when we were allowed to travel. And the first store we went into when we got to Dublin was a bookstore, which was right near our hotel. And I walked in and it was like straight ahead of me, and I was like, oh, I wanted to check that out. So I picked that up. Anyways, started reading it. Love it. It's a really good book. So I'm reading that. We started watching season 2 of Jack Ryan last night. Prior to that, we had watched on Netflix Wild Wild Country. So if any of you watch or listen to the My Favorite Murder podcast, which is my favorite podcast, back, I think it was probably around episode 50, 60-ish, they did one of their podcasts was on the cult that had come into this really, really small town, like population 40, in Oregon, and kind of took over the town. And there was just, it was really interesting. Anyways, Wild Wild Country was a documentary based on that. It was, I think, 6 or 7 episodes, and it was really interesting. So we were watching that. So that was really good. That was on Netflix. And what else? That's kind of, so now we're watching Jack Ryan. And then I think after that, we're probably going to catch up on Ozark, because we have 2 seasons of that to catch up on now. And that's really about it. I've been doing some walking. I started doing yoga last week, which has really helped my back. My new work laptop came in, so I'm no longer trying to read off of my small Mac screen. So that's been great. I'm still going into the office about 2 days a week, pretty much for full days. I plan on going there for half a day, and then I end up being there the whole day. And I've kind of caught on to that, so I've started to take more snacks with me. And that's about it. That's really all that's going on. I'm trying to get as much knitting in as possible. So I usually get up at, I think I get up at 6 o'clock, 6:30. And then I'll just go down, have my coffee, or I'll go down, take the dog for a walk, then have my coffee and do some knitting, watch a couple podcasts, and then then grab a quick shower and go to work. So the commute's great. The commute from upstairs to downstairs takes no time at all. And even when I have to drive into the office, there's really not much traffic on the road, so I usually get there in about like 12 minutes. So it's not so bad. And then I have the office to myself completely, which is awesome. So that is about all that's going on. We're trying to make the best of it, trying to hang in there and stay busy and not lose our minds completely. I did up a little, I just feel the need to like move and exercise now, like a month of not doing it. Well, I shouldn't say month. I probably wasn't working out a whole lot leading up to this. But now the fact that it's like, they're saying you can't go to the gym. It's like my body is saying I need to exercise. So I did up some circuit workouts that I can do. So, and I can just do that like right in my office. So I'm gonna, I did one of those last week, and then I tweaked it a bit, and just kind of improved it. And I did 2 different ones, so I can kind of switch it up. And I'm gonna try to do those like about 3 times a week, do yoga 4 times a week to keep my back stretching, and then walk the dog every day. So hopefully that will keep the blood flowing and mitigate any of the crappy food choices I've been making. So that's about it. So I think I will let you guys go. I am going to go, I think I may do the Rift sweater joining now. And I will check back in with you guys later. So thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to all the new viewers. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to be notified of new videos. Just hit the little bell. And until then, I will see you guys in the vlogs if you're watching them. And if not, I will see you in a couple weeks for the next episode.